Nicholas with Maple Power Systems here, and I'm going to go over the setup of the control on the, or setting up a Mastervolt Powercombi 12-2000, and how we're doing our setup here. So the first thing we want to look at is going to be the first tick mark, so you follow this little arrow, it's pointing to shore. So here, if I click this button, it's to enter the menu. Here I'm putting 22 amp max, just because we have a 25 amp breaker in the front, plus I have the existing battery charger of the boat. I could probably even set this to 20, just to make sure that we don't overpower the shore power. Now if you're running off a 15 amp, you would set this to 15, and it's just to make sure you don't trip your breaker. So if you don't have an issue where you're tripping your breaker, you don't really have to worry about it, or if you have a 30 amp service, you don't have to worry about it, although in this case we're just being careful just because we do have a very powerful 100 amp charger in here. So if I'm going to save it, I would hit this button. You see a little arrow. That arrow means okay, it's saved, and then I go back. So I'm going to go and adjust for the lithium batteries here. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter unit setup. There's a pin that pops up, so we're going to say okay. I'm going to move my little arrow to get it where I want to be. So I have a little line underneath the first 0. So I'm going to set this to 1, 2, 2, 4. I'm going to enter again. So now energy save mode, I don't really play with any of these things. This I'll leave it pretty standard. What I'll change is the bulk charge time. So bulk charge time at 100 amps, how long would it take to charge the batteries? So this boat has 1,000 amp hours of lithium. So what I have it set up as is I have this set up as 8 hours. So that'll take me up to 20%, or take me up to 80%, and then I'll do the rest through absorption and through floating. So I'm not going to play with this. So battery type. So we're going to be in custom. We're looking for custom mode. So for the charge voltage, that should be less. We're going to set everything to 13.8 for our batteries. So 13.8. Absorb is going to be 13.8, and float's going to be 13.8. Equalize, we'll do the same, 13.8. So that's all set up. We have a little arrow there that is all happy. So we're going to go back. So charge rate, you can adjust your charge rate based on if you want to limit how much charge you're going to put into it, although it's unnecessary for our use. And then here on the absorbed charge time, I put the minimum possible. So I just do the absorption for 1 hour, and then the rest of the charging will be done through floating.